how do you all feel about students completing assessments together? So today, that is exactly what I did. In my dual credit class, I had students complete their reading assessment together. So let me just say that they have done reading assessments independently, and I don't do this always. I normally do this, if I'm being honest, when grades are due and I need to administer some type of assessment, and there's not a lot of time. There's not like a big window for grading. So I'm going to just be super upfront. That's one of the reasons why I do that. So, but every time I have done it, I have actually loved the results. And so my rule today was they can work in pairs or work individually. So they could not work like in a group. And just walking around the class and hearing the conversation, and students, when they turned in their test document, and they're like, oh, wait till you read how I use the subjunctive. And I was just really, it's like they got really excited. And I honestly did hear them sort of negotiating, talking, going back and forth, referencing the text. Their test was on a movie that is unfortunately going off of Netflix. It's called Orbiter 9, and it like has futuristic topics, themes. It's a Colombian/Spanish collaboration. So a lot of the actors are it's like half are from Colombia, half are from Spain. I think it takes place in like Medellin, like Medellin. Because I know a lot of the actors are actually from Medellin. I recognize them from other series that I watch. So they had that movie, and then we read the story, a short story book that I got from Colombia, from Bookstore in Colombia. The title of the book is called El Desdén de los Dioses, but the story that we read is called Implantados. And when I tell you, this was like super comprehensible. There were like a few little vocabulary activities that I did beforehand. And even in doing those, they were like very contextual. Kids were like, oh yeah, I know what that means in context. So, it was just a great story. Like they didn't have to use the dictionary too much. They could read and understand. So they did have that story available. I gave them a story, and then one of the things that they had to do, so how I kind of combined this, was they had to talk about, they had to compare. So one of the questions asked them to compare Implantados with Orbiter 9, and what are the themes that they had in common. And they have to explain the themes. And then based on both of the situations presented in the book and the short story and in the movie, they had to give a justification of which one of those will come true first. Like which one is more probable to happen, like in the near future. So when kids were turning in their test, first of all, as I walked around, I heard a lot of higher order thinking, they were going back to the text, they were negotiating, they were talking about it. And that just I probably need to do this a little bit more often, not with every assessment, but I need to figure out a really good rhythm where I can do this once a quarter, because just that brain power and that going back and forth and just checking and cross-referencing, I just thought that it just created so much synergy in the room. And number two, when students were turning in their tests, a lot of them were like, wait till you read my response on this. Oh, you should read how I use the subjunctive in number two. So I was really proud of that. Okay, let me show you guys one of the writings that they did. Let me find, I have a few here. Let me show you. So one of the things that I had them do, we've been working on the past subjunctive and the conditional perfect. And so I think that's what it is, right? Yeah, I think it's the past subjunctive. You'd be surprised. I'm not good with grammar names, y'all. I need to improve that. So yeah. Okay, so here we go. This was the question that the kids had to answer. It was piensa en el cuento y la película y escoge un personaje. Cuéntanos qué habrías hecho tú si estuvieras en la misma situación. So it's very open-ended. They can take from the book, they can take from the movie. And here's one of my students' responses. Now, it's not perfect. But we've been doing this for a couple weeks, and I am impressed, and I'm glad that they actually have this um, advanced way of or not like advanced grammatical structure that they could use, because a lot of times kids, when we're talking about stuff, they're like, oh, si yo era, and I'm like, you know what, there's a way to say it, and we're going to learn how to do it. Okay, so this is what the one student, how he responded. He says, si yo estuviera en la misma situación de Alex, yo habría, he uses ha sido, it's hecho, yo habría hecho más cosas para esconder a Elena. Las personas de la organización solo descubrieron que Elena había escapado porque ella se escapó de la casa de Alex y encontró a sus padres. Si Alex tomara más cuidado con Elena, las personas de la organización no habrían descubierto que Elena ya se había escapado. Oh my gosh. I mean, I'm just like, oh, it's so exciting. It's so exciting to actually to do these activities, to read these stories, to talk about and to have students like get it and come through. And this was a very short, so this was super short, okay? I just had them write like a response to the movie. And now, because we're gonna move into our next unit, I'm like, ooh, now we're gonna just add on to that. So hopefully by the end of this semester, by the end of the year, they'll be able to like write and respond to things using like those multiple frames, because that is the goal for me. That is the goal for me. And I am super impressed. So anyway, let me know what you guys think about pairing students and having them work together. I do let them choose, and I tell them to choose wisely. And when I looked around, most people had chosen students that were like on their level. So there weren't any kids, in my opinion, that were in groups and kind of like trying to copy, like everybody pulled their weight. So I was happy about that. Adios.